What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another edition in the lab. Still trying to recover from last week. Had a crazy, wacky weekend here in Canada. Yeah, we were a point deduction away from going 50-50 on the picks, but we did go 10-2 on the best bets. So, that's what we bank on. That's what we count on here. So 10-2 on the best bets. I'll definitely take that. A point deduction away from going 50-50 on the fights. One fight got canceled. Man, but we're going to make up for it. We're going to make up for it this week in the crappy Apex. I call it the Crapex. Got 12 awesome fights here for you guys this fight week. I'm pumped up. Before we do get started, please like and subscribe and stay tuned. By the way, my schedule is tight this week with the NFL draft tomorrow. So, I'm not going to have time this week, so I'm going to do the picks and the best bets all in this video here. So, let's get it started. First fight of the night, we got Talita Alencar versus Julia Polastri. Julia Polastri, they call her the Psycho. She's 8 years younger than Talita. I like her because she's way more willing to engage. She has longer reach, and she's younger. I think I said that already. But, 60% takedown defense, I think, should be enough for her in this fight to overcome Talita's wrestling. Look for the late KO here. She's very aggressive. She has a good motor. She stays on her opponent, so if she stops the takedown, I think a late KO is really possible here because, Alencar is good. She's a problem child, but she's a heavy Brazilian grappler. There's no secret she's going to try to take Julia down quicker than I would take Talita down, She's very, it's going to be a striker versus grappler. But I don't trust in Talita's hands. I don't think she has the hands to hang with Psycho over here, and that's why she's a big underdog. Her only loss in the UFC is to Luciano, which fights a lot like Julia Polastri. So, yeah, she's a lot younger than her, and Polastri has the reach and the heavy pace. So I'll take Polastri to win here. If not decision, no, I'm going to say late KO, maybe third round KO, but decision is definitely a good play here. But I'm going to go to late KO here by Polastri. But the best bet is that this fight reaches the second round. That's going to be my safest bet for this fight. And yeah, that's it. Let's move next to the next fight. Max Griffin versus Victor Valenzuela. This fight just got added this week. And Victor Valenzuela is not Venezuelan. He's from Chile. One of the two Chilean fighters on the UFC roster. I think the other one is Ignacio Bahamondes. And they fight pretty similar. This guy, I've seen him fight. I've seen him train. He trains up the block here at MMA Masters. Where Kobe trains and all that. Good guy. Very, he's a striker. But he can wrestle. Don't get it twisted. He can wrestle. He brings it. He has a 13-4 record on the regional scene. Nickname is Psychosis. The guy's good. He's mostly he kind of reminds me a little bit of Ilya. That's tough shoes to fill, but he's precise like that. He can do it all. He's aggressive. The only thing I don't like is that he just fought 30 days ago. He did win, but fighting a month ago is kind of tough to just turn back around and fight a veteran like Max Griffin, who has he's fought a lot of tough guys. He has a lot of cage octagon experience in the UFC, which is big. But I think Victor's going to handle the pressure. I don't like the way Max has looked in his last couple fights against not the best opponents. He's coming off two back-to-back losses, so I don't like that for him. Yeah, he's almost knocking on the door of 40, and Victor's only 32, I believe. So, yeah, I mean, hey, he has his back against the wall, but then again, Victor's making his UFC debut after fighting a month ago, so it's pretty fair here. But I think Victor's gonna pull it off. I say maybe late sub, but it could go the distance. I'm gonna say this fight goes the distance. Yeah, but the best bet for this fight is that it reaches the second round. I really want to pick Victor, but you know Max is a veteran, and he has back to back losses, so you know what that means. Probably if he loses this one, he's probably out. So, but yeah, I'll take Victor to win by decision here. All right, next fight is Francis Marshall versus Lucas Brennan, and Francis Marshall, he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good here in the UFC. Kind of, it's one of those guys that he has win loss win loss. He tackles back and forth with wins and losses. He did win his last one a few months ago versus Silva when he submitted him. He looks pretty good in his fights. Brings it. Game fighter. He's not one of those guys that holds back. He trains down here at American Top Team, so he's well coached. I think he's fighting Lucas Brennan, a young grappler from Syndicate MMA. He's 11-2. He's pretty impressive. So from what I've seen so far, but I'm gonna train that Marshall. You know what? I'm gonna switch it up here. I'm gonna switch it up just because, even though this guy's making his debut here in the UFC, and Marshall, he wins and loses, wins and loses. There's no he doesn't put together. There's nothing that tells me that he doesn't do something very well. He fights to his opponent instead of his opponent fighting to him. So, when it's grappler versus striker, and the guy's not impressive, I'm gonna go with the grappler here. I'm gonna say that Lucas Brennan. No, I'm gonna go with Francis Marshall. I'm gonna go back to Marshall. Lucas is making his UFC debut, and I don't like that. I think Francis he'll get his first back to back wins in the UFC. Probably by decision. To be honest with you, I think this fight's gonna go the distance. The safe bet here, by the way, is the same. Fight does reach the second round. I don't see any of these guys coming in here, but I think Lucas he'll submit him probably in the second round. But I think Francis has enough to last at least to the second round. And I'm sorry, Lucas has enough to last to the second round. I'm so sorry, guys. And then Francis will. I trust that his coaches and his time at American Top Team will have him overcome whatever Lucas brings to the table here. And I'll be really sad if he just comes here and takes him down and then does this thing. I'll start to question myself greatly. All right, next fight we got Jaleel Fihol versus Cody Durden. Brazil versus the U.S. Phil Ho was supposed to fight Rocha, and I guess Cody Durden is a late sub in for Rocha, which is no longer available to fight. And Durden hasn't looked like himself as of late. He has lost his last 3 fights. Albeit it was against pretty good talent. He lost to the 2 men in a barrel by decision. Then he got subbed by Nascimento. He got knocked out by Ochoa. Those are all good guys, but those are 3 really bad losses, and then even 4 if you want to count his loss to Van before that. So I mean, the guy hasn't won here in a very long time. Custom made is a veteran. He's been around for a while. Um, so has Phil Ho. So has Phil Ho, and Phil Ho is ever dangerous. Uh, he's very aggressive. He has those nasty leg kicks. If he sees an opportunity to go for the kill, he's gonna do it. Um, so uh, you know, I'm gonna go with Phil Ho here by sub, and the best bet here is that this fight does not go the distance because Phil Ho's gonna try to sub him any chance he gets. He's gonna try to take him out, and Durden knows he's lost what, four in a row. He has to make a statement here. He's gonna go out there guns blazing, and these two guys are gonna let it all out. And this fight is not going the distance. That's going to be the best bet. But I am going with Phil Ho by sub. By sub. Will it be early? Will it be late? I don't know. But one thing I do know is that this fight's not going the distance. All right. So the next fight we got Mayra Bueno Silva versus Michelle Montague. Buena Silva, man, this is another one. She's lost four straight. How she still gets she gets hit a ton. She comes in here prepared to get hit. Uh, but she's aggressive. She's aggressive with subs. Always looking for for a W. But you gotta fight smart. You gotta take her down. You gotta take her out. She reminds me of kind of like Nate Diaz. They're not afraid of getting hit. You can damage her all she wants to, but she's gonna come back and keep coming until you take her out. If you could take her out, so she's gonna be there for the whole 15 minutes. Montague is she's a very pretty Australian broad. She trains at ATT as well. Very very aggressive. She has great coaching. Um, she looks great in the other leagues, in the other fighting leagues. We'll see how she does here, man. She's she did get a decision win last year against Carolina, but that doesn't say much. Um, Carolina doesn't have a lot of experience, and she's dealing with a totally different animal here in Mayra Bueno Silva. She has about maybe 10 fights more than her. She is taller though. Montague is taller, has the reach. Um, she's a much better striker. She's a much better striker, more. But I'm scared that if it gets taken down, which I mean they both have wrestling, so I like Montague. I like her appearance. I like that she brings the fight forward. And Mayra Bueno Silva is gonna get hit a ton here, unless she takes Michelle down or does like a reversal and just weighs on her. But I'm gonna say that Michelle Montague here comes out with the victory. I'm gonna say she gets her in a late sub. I'm gonna say Michelle Montague late sub on Mayra Bueno Silva, and the best bet here is that this fight does reach the second round. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna take her out that early, but yeah, I definitely see Montague winning this fight either by sub or decision, but I say sub. All right, now next we got Jackson McVeigh versus Cedricus Dumas. I don't know what's more shocking, that these two are fighting each other or that they're both still in the UFC. Um, Nobody wants a win here more than Dumas. Guys got bills to pay. Hasn't looked good lately. Has not looked good. He hasn't won a fight since I think probably late 24. Um, but then again, he's fought really good guys. They haven't done him any favors. He hasn't had the same privilege as other guys like O'Malley or guys that just spoon fed easy fights. He's been thrown to some wolves per se. Um, yeah, man, the guy he has some flashes of great talent. It's just can he put it all together? You know, he's gone up against killers lately, so it's kind of hard to show your greatness. But I think against a guy like Jackson McVeigh, it's there for the taking. McVeigh is not a threat. If you don't pose a big threat to Dumas, I think he's gonna show his he's gonna show himself. He's gonna show what he got. And yeah, give me Cedric Dumas to finally get another win here by TKO. Um, but the best bet here is that this fight does not go the distance. That's the safest bet for this fight. But yeah, give me Cedric Dumas by TKO here. Probably early. I don't foresee this fight taking too long. All right, next, the feature fight of the prelims is Rodolfo Vieira versus Eric Montague. Um, sorry, Eric McConical. My apologies. Eric McConical is 10-4 from the MMA lab. Interesting character here. I like his gym. His guys from MMA lab. They doing pretty good things. He's another one that's been tackling wins and losses. He did beat Brundage, but that's Brundage. Then he ran into what's this guy's name? So Sarakev, the guy that fights, the guy that trains with Kamzat, that guy's really good. Before that, Ruziboyev, which when this guy fights heavy grapplers, he loses. But he's not the best of the best. And here he is fighting Vieira, who's 11-4 from the Fighting Nerds, another great gym. I don't like either of these guys' gas tanks, to be honest with you. Just keeping it real. Vieira pretty much, Mechanical's 1-2 in his last 3 fights. Yeah, give me Vieira by early sub here. I just don't see. I don't. As soon as one of these guys starts getting tired, the other one's done. So the best bet here, the safest bet, is that this fight does not go the distance. Eric Mechanical could catch Rodolfo Vieira if he gets tired, but yeah, I think Vieira will he'll wear on him. He'll take him down. He'll wear on him. They'll both get tired, and Rodolfo Vieira will look to end this fight, and Eric McConigal will, he'll have his flashes in the first round, but yeah, I think ultimately Vieira will take over and sub him, either second round or late or maybe early first round. Who knows? But yeah, this fight's not going the distance. That's the safest bet. If you haven't liked, please guys like and subscribe if you haven't yet. It goes a long way. If you leave a comment, let me know what you think. All that is welcome here. All right, we move on to the main card. Marcus Buchecha versus Ryan Spann. Oh man, Marcus Buchecha versus Ryan Spann. Ryan Spann, what can I say about this guy? He's an amazing talent. 6'5", long wingspan. It's just his fight IQ sometimes worries me a little bit. This guy's questionable. He got KO'd by Waldo Cortez Acosta, which is, it's not a bad look. Waldo, he's on a win streak right now, taking over everybody. But this guy has talent. He has talent. When he wants to use it, he can grapple. And he's going against Buchecha, who he lost his debut to Martin Boudet in an extremely boring fight. So boring that I think Boudet won, and they still kicked him out of the UFC. So picture that. Then he had a draw with Kennedy in Kennedy, the Kennedy guy, into Jakuchu, whatever his name is, you know. But yeah, man, he's finally fighting an opponent that's his size. The last two guys that he fought have been way bigger, Kennedy and Martin. Martin really just outweighed him, so he just weighed on him pretty much the whole fight. And he's fighting out of ATT, another fighter down the street. So yeah, he has good coaching. Both guys are going to come well coached, and they both need a win. And I'm going to trust in Buchecha here to get his first win. I can't believe I just said that, but yeah, I'm gonna say that Buchecha uses his leg kicks, uses his wrestling, and he'll outsmart Ryan Spann here and get the win. Possible sub, but I'll say decision. And yeah, no, you know what? I'm gonna say he'll sub him out. He'll sub him, and if he doesn't get clipped, he will sub Ryan Spann. But the best bet here is that this fight does not go the distance. I know Ryan is gonna want to finish it. Yeah, Ryan's fights typically don't go the distance here, and he's another one that flirts back and forth with the wins and losses. You know, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. So he's due for a loss. All right, let's go with Buchecha by submission here. All right, next fight we got Montel Jackson versus Raoni Barcelos. Barcelos, yeah, he's older than him by a significant amount. You know, he's almost getting to up there. He's 38, but he's always dangerous. He's always dangerous, especially on the ground. He has a nasty sub game. He has that Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He's always looking to end the fight, especially by sub. Has to use his leg kicks here. He has to get close because Montel Jackson has a 8.5-inch reach advantage here, folks. 8.5. That's a nasty reach. He's gonna have to get in there, use his leg kicks, have Montel a little worried, and then go for the takedowns and do his thing. He has won 4 in a row, but his last opponents, they don't have the same quickness as Montel Jackson. All right, he's fought some guys that are, some were young, some were just not as quick. I think Montel Jackson is really quick. He has nice combinations. He's light on his feet. His last fight was very frustrating. He lost to Figgy, but I don't know. I was waiting for him to throw combinations. I was waiting for him to land something, and Figgy looks like he outsmarted him. Really got the best out of him that night. So, he got cut up. He got gun shy. But before that, he had won 6 in a row. So he was on a nice little winning streak. And I didn't think it'd come to it end with Figgy, but it did. But in this fight here, I see him winning by I say he catches Barcelos late and KO or TKO, probably late second or third round here. Yeah, the safest bet though is that this fight does not go the distance because it could go to the ground and Barcelos could do his thing and submit Montel Jackson. But I don't see that happening. I see Montel Jackson catching him late and dropping some combos on him that'll make him look for a way out, and Herb Dean will probably step in there late, or who knows. But yeah, his fight's not going the distance, and I see Montel Jackson getting his hand raised for sure. All right, next fight. Davy Grant versus Adrian Luna Martinetti. And I believe this is another one that was changed late, if I'm not mistaken. Because of Davy Grant. Davy Grant's another one of those guys. He's this fight's it's right. It's fight. He's an exciting fighter from Manchester. Don't like how he leaves himself open sometimes. He throws punches and he just doesn't cover up. It's not a good look. He's another guy who's getting up there in age. He's pushing 40. Um, Above average opponents have beaten Davy Grant easily, but he is dangerous. He's a dangerous guy. He's aggressive. His aggressiveness, um, gets him W's. So when Davy Grant comes out aggressive and follows the game plan, and you can clearly tell when that is early. The guy doesn't play around. So if he comes out early and he's himself, then he will be what his nickname is, and that's dangerous. But yeah, I'm convinced we'll see a war here. Martinetti, gotta love the guy. He's from Ecuador, but he trains in Mexico. We've seen a lot of cross trainings. A lot of people training in Mexico that are not, like Diego Lopez. He's Brazilian and trains in Mexico, or moved to Mexico. So gotta like that. You know, this guy has sick combinations. Um, yeah, yeah. I'll say that this fight, the safe bet, the safe bet here is that this fight reaches round two. Um, but it could be a first round war. This could be one of the best bets that we lose this week. But I'm gonna venture to say that it does reach at least the second round. And yeah, I see a war. I see a war going on in the second round. Just like a flurry of punches back and forth, and Martinetti getting the best out of it. So yeah, give me Martinetti in a KO round two, and yeah, I do expect fireworks here. So this should be a pretty good fight. All right, up next we got Rafa Garcia versus Alexander the Grand Chango. Let me tell you guys about Rafa. Little Rafa Garcia here. His last fight, he won. He won against a very compromised Gordon. I believe Gordon had got hit by a car the day prior to that, or prior to the weigh-ins, as a matter of fact. And yeah, it took him to the third round. So you got a compromised guy who got hit by a car, couldn't really do anything, and you took it to the third round to KO him. It's not a good look. Other guys would have finished him off early, but you know, he beats average guys. If you put an average guy in front of him, he's probably gonna win. He's not bad. He's a Mexican boxer. That's his boxing is MO. He is Mexican. I don't like that he got KO'd by Dawson. That's not a good look. He's fighting an aggressive guy. He's fighting an aggressive guy who's won four straight. Alexander the Great, he does not like to take, he does take the first round off. So, I mean, Rafa does have a chance here. If he comes in here and just takes it to him, then, I mean, that will be his best bet. Because as the fight goes on, Alexander will get better. He just usually takes the first round off for a reason. And Rafa's not the best starter. So, I don't think that's good for him. Alexander Hernandez, he won four straight, but he's beaten great guys. His body of work is better than Rafa. He's more powerful. He's more powerful and he's better well-rounded. As Rafa's more like a boxer, striker type. Alexander can grapple a little bit, so he has better ways to win here than Rafa. I'm gonna say Hernandez. I'm gonna say Hernandez KO. Just because both guys swing, but Hernandez swings with worse intentions. He comes to kill, and I think he'll get the killer hit here. He'll find Rafa's chin and put him down. So yeah, so you have Alexander Hernandez here by TKO, and the best bet here is that this fight does not go the distance because Alexander Hernandez fights very rarely go the distance. And when he sees a guy that's willing to engage like Rafa, it's going to be fireworks, folks. It's going to be fireworks. Um, yeah. So we move on to Norm. Did I say the best bet for Davy Grant? Yeah, I did. The fight before I did. Up next, the co-main event of the evening: Norma Dumont versus Jocelyn Edwards. Uh, Dumont's coming off of six in a row. She has six in a row. She's 13-2, very impressive. But her last six wins have been against much older women per se, women that are on their way out, not in their prime like Jocelyn Edwards. Uh, it's gonna be a lot tougher when you're used to fighting, people that you can push around and out. It's not gonna match your tenacity. But Jocelyn Edwards is tough, man. She's won four straight. She's getting better with every fight. She's improving her everything. Her tank is improving. Her wrestling is improving. Her striking has always been pretty good. Um, she's more Cornell, but that's Cornell. That's not very impressive. But you know, she smoked her so easily that she just wanted to come back around because that just happened like 2 months ago. So she's back. She's back after easily beating Nora Cornell, and she's taking on Norma Dumont, who's ranked number 3. It's a mission here. I do like that she's very assertive here. Um, she has reach on her. She has reach. She's assertive. I say the best bet here is that this fight goes the distance. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say that this is a typical women's MMA fight, except it's gonna be some pretty decent ground game here. Both women can exchange. Both women can wrestle. They'll look to finish, but they probably won't get it. Um, yeah, this is tough, man. This one's tough just because I really like Edwards. I really like the way she's looked in her last fights, but yeah, man. Cornell's she's I'm sorry, Dumont. Oh my God, I just called her. She's 13-2, man. 13-2 is a pretty good record to have. Uh, you know, and if it goes the distance, she's probably gonna win. So give me Dumont. Give me Dumont to win by decision here, but it can go either way. To be honest with you guys, I'm just going with Norma Dumont because she's 13-2 and she's more experienced and she's had a longer rest. That's about it. But this can easily go Jocelyn Edwards' way. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had her Jocelyn winning, but the fact that it's a quick turnaround, I don't like that, and I just switched it up here. So give me Demont to win by decision here. All right. If you haven't yet, guys, please feel free to like and subscribe. Yeah, let me know what you think. Engage with me, and let's take it to the main event with Aljamain Sterling versus Youssef Zalal. These two guys have trained together. Zalal super dangerous. It's not even 30 yet. Young guy. Went 15 minutes with the current champ. Ilya. Yeah, he hasn't. He didn't get finished. You know, he didn't win, but he didn't get finished. At least, not many people can say that. Not many veterans with a lot more experience can say that. So, you know, he trains at Factory X. He can pretty much do it all. Excellent striking game. He can wrestle. Tons of energy. He's on a fight win streak. You know, ever since he got kicked out of the UFC, he's come back with a vengeance, man. He's been improving every fight. He's shown that he's grown. The the fights that he had out, you know, on the regional scene, just made him better. And he's coming here with an attitude to win and just take over. But he's fighting a veteran. These guys are very evenly ranked. Youssef Zalal is 7. Aljamain Sterling is ranked 5. Uh, he's an ex-champ, so he's fought the highest level competition. Albeit it was in the bantamweight division, but you know, nonetheless, it's the highest success level, and he did get there, and he's fought top level here at the featherweight as well. So, you know, how to beat Aljo? You get a fluke KO, or you just straight up out wrestle him. Um, yeah, those are the only two ways that Aljo has lost here. You got to out wrestle him, or you got to get a fluke KO. And in this instance here, I don't see Youssef Zalal getting a fluke KO or out wrestling him. So, you know, Aljamain does get knocked out sometimes, but it's years in between. It's usually not, you know, O'Malley just did it a couple years ago, so I don't think he's going to get knocked out anytime soon. I could be wrong, but I just don't think so. And the fact that these guys train together and they're, you know, they got some kind of friendship, I think Youssef Zalal is going to come into this fight with that. I'm not going to say friendship mentality, but man, I like it better when there's bad blood between both fighters. It makes for a better fight, and I just think it's his first main event. He knows Aljo. Aljo knows him. He's gonna come in here with the mentality of, you know, let's just get the best. Let's put on the best show. But you know, and that favors Aljo. That favors a veteran like Aljo, who's, you know, like the guys in his corner are probably thinking, let's kill this guy. While Yusuf Zalal is probably thinking, let's win, but let's put on a good performance. And that's my buddy over there. But your buddy's not looking to be buddies here. So give me Aljamain Sterling to win, probably by decision. You know, I think this is going to be a very evenly matched fight that could go either way. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say Aldo gets those late takeovers. He's going to do those things that win you the rounds. And yeah, I say he wins by decision. And the best bet here is that this fight goes to second round. And kind of the same thing in the Norma Damon and Jocelyn Edwards fight. That's going to be the best bet, is that the fight goes to second round for these last two fights. All right? So there you have it, folks. I'm extremely confident that my overall record will be better this week than it was last week. And yeah, hopefully we sweep those best bets. All right? Take care, guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great draft party wherever you're at. And we'll see you next week.